Okay, folks, so the mistake is made. Patches? Yeah, Patches has additional dialogue I wasn't aware of.
No, don't
I doubt you'll
it.
actually
It's the least I can
give
do
me a chance
for
to show you now.
Friend. But do pay for them.
Long story short, all the merchants have a talk option. They'll offer you in bits and pieces as you progress through the game, in addition to providing you new stuff. So, new healing items, off rods and ends, new type of arrows, yeah. So as you found the white bow, you can get white arrows. Which you can only use with the white bow, I think. It's like the strongest combination in the game. Fully upgraded white bow plus white arrows. It wrecks. It absolutely wrecks. Oh, he sells to catering as well. After you've been to... Okay. There are like multiple options to find all this stuff.
I reckon they left behind some fine armour and weapons. Why not have a visit? See what you can find.
I would love to.
I reckon they
Yeah, he's not going to give me the rest of the dialogue, is he now?
Fine.
For reasons I don't even know, I randomly decided to click on the talk option while I wasn't recording. And found out he has some dialogue related to the Valley of Defilement. Specifically, he references the 2 items you can get as White World Tenancy events in this world. The Spear of Istrel and the Moonlight Sword of the Holy Knight Vito. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, because I wasn't recording, I can't get that dialogue ever again on this playthrough, which is a little irritating. But I had generally no idea that Patches hinted that there was some additional hidden treasures in the level. It's like, as far as I'm aware, that's the only time White World Tenancy events are directly referenced, I think. Or like, there is something hidden that you could possibly find, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, well. Now it's time for the most emotional boss fight in the entire game. Especially when you understand all the background to it. You might be thinking, that just looks like a normal... Yeah, it looks like a normal cleric chick, that doesn't seem to be a demon. And then you see all the corpses, like, ah, right. And then all the blood. The blood that specifically soaks the lower half of her body. The reason I point that out will become apparent all too soon. And she's cradling something. Which is, the demonic power she's acquired, essentially.
Go forth, Gal Vinland. May you be
You are
unharmed.
a kid now. You are a squid now. Yeah, Squid Knight there is our main opponent. He's the only one who's actually any real threat.
Leave us, slayer of demons. This is a sanctuary for the lost and wretched. There is nothing here for you to pillage or plunder.
That's a lie, I can see Chloe's already.
Please, leave quietly.
Now, I thought it would have been a nice touch if they made it so you could actually go back through the VOD gate. I think that would have been an extra component, but I suppose the fact you literally cannot go back without warping out of the fight, that sort of adds to the whole thing. So, as I mentioned, the Archdemon fights, especially in this game, are more or less gimmicks more than actual fights. And the gimmick here is twofold. First, the fact your main opponent is actually her Knight Guardian rather than her. Now there are places within this arena you can stand and pepper her with, I think it's arrows. I don't think you can reach her with spells without engaging Garl. You can basically stand on like the ledge up here, a bit further along, and shoot her in the face with arrows and you really can't do anything. Interestingly enough, Garl doesn't attempt to run around to get you either, which always confused me. It might be like he seemed freaking out the fact I'm getting closer to her. But he doesn't attempt to get closer to me. He just runs and stands in front of her, if I recall correctly. And none of the plagued, defiled residents here, as you'll notice, none of them attempt to attack me. They're all completely fixated on worshipping her. They don't actually act as defenders. So you've got all these things here that won't fight back. You've got those creatures down there. The plague babies, which I'll explain in a moment. I think they actually attack the defiled ones if you kick them down there as well. Let me find out real quick. Let's have a look. Yeah, those things will attack anything that goes down there, no matter what enemy team it's supposed to be on. Which I always thought was quite interesting. These little monstrosities just attack anything mindlessly. Generally not a good idea to bother going down there to get the goodies. I don't think it's worth it, to be quite frank. unless you're looking for a very specific build. I think there's like a pure stone from one of the builds. A pure Mara stone, perhaps, was down there. I can't remember exactly. Generally, I don't think it's worth it to a guy rank. Black Turpentine, because Garl's armor is at least semi-resilient to magic. So this is probably going to do more damage than just trying to twat him with my spells like I would normally. So yeah, that gimmick number 1 is Garl. Gimmick number 2 is the fact that this is supposed to be a moral quandary fight, which is a really ballsy maneuver. Like I've mentioned, Estrella here, she hasn't... How can I put this? She hasn't gone demon, per se.
I shall let no harm come to dearest Estrella.
Sort of semi-evidenced by the fact...
In the deepest depths of this swamp.
Yeah. Evidenced by how committed to her protection Holy Knight Garl here still is. The idea, as I understand, is supposed to be that, yes, she's acquired a full-blown demon's powers, but she's using them to attempt to heal the denizens of the Valley of Defilement. She's not doing it terribly well, and that's sort of... Oh fuck, he's two-handing, isn't he? I can't parry a two-hand. Problem being that the power of a demon soul is by its very nature corrupting. So her intentions are...
How dare you persist in intruding upon our haven?
Yeah. Garl's not entirely talking to me, by the way.
Abandoned us long ago. What right do you have?
Garl's basically monologuing...
Humble lives. Leave us be.
He's monologuing to the god of this world, which is actually the old one. Spoiler. Now, Estrella's realised this, that she has the power of a demon soul, that their god is the old one. Like, I'm getting my ass kicked. The king of all demons, as it were. Now, this is broken Garl. He's just utterly given up on everything at this point. But he's determined to try and keep her alive, at least anyway. So yeah, she's been utterly corrupted by the power she wields, but her intentions have not changed. So she's attempted to use evil, mutated powers.
I have failed you.
To cure the inhabitants of this land. By resurrecting them as these things, the plague babies. Creatures that are unaffected by the poison, and the disease and the rot. That in fact thrive in it. The implication by the bloodied skirts being that she's somehow absorbing their souls and then birthing these things out. Which is just as bleak as it sounds. Now obviously Garl, he still believes that because her intentions at least are pure, if not her methods and actions, that she can somehow be saved.
You killed him, didn't you? Very well. I can no longer resist you. Do as you like. Take your precious demon soul.
Yeah. There's a dialogue there intimates another couple of things. First of all, she still believes that she's doing the right thing. Like, really, she is utterly convinced that she's not creating abominations, that she's truly saving these people. She really believes that. Secondly, on some level, she does realise that without Garl around to act essentially as her moral compass, she's aware that she's probably going to go full demon. Like I say, she believes that she's not, but, yeah. Once we kill Garl off, she basically suicides to avoid, well, becoming a true monstrosity in every sense of the word. It's a really bleak fight. And I'd say it's a moral quandary fight, because like, on one hand, she really doesn't intend to do any harm, but on the other hand, the creatures that she's mutating these people into to save them, quote unquote, are utter monstrosities in their own right, that attack anyone and everything without concern. That's what you're supposed to gather from the fact they attack the depraved ones. You know, best of intentions and all that. Warped by power that is just out and out evil. Again, it's supposed to be showing you, the player, that no matter what your intentions are when you start acquiring demonic power, it will go wrong. There's no and if or buts about it. Which is why I think there's two endings to this game. I think if you level up at all, you pretty much have to accept one of the endings, in my opinion. Okay, a little bit of backtracking. Gonna get these White World tendency events, pick up the items that Patches mentioned earlier. Well, you guys didn't see that, but the ones I informed you guys about. This is the ladder that I pointed out as we ran past that wasn't here originally. It's now spawned in, which means we can access the upper levels on this side of the valley that we couldn't access before. So I carefully does it because, as I mentioned, it looks visually stunning, it's arresting, but in terms of actually navigating it, it is something of a nightmare because the camera keeps getting stuck underneath and behind things. All of the platforms are at weird angles, which sometimes makes the geometry misbehave. Like doing this, I've quite legitimately fallen through what appear to be solid platforms because they're weirdly angled. I've abruptly slid off one when the game suddenly decided that one platform is angled a little too sharply. It's it's about as it sounds. Now these arseholes are still a pain to fight, but at this kind of level, and ow, clipped me on the back of the head anyway. Why did I push instead of strike there? Oh, great club, nice. One of those actually spawns in the Leechmonger fight after you've got pure white. I don't know why, it just does. It spawns in his boss room if you go into there when you've got pure white world tendency. It's a fun weapon, the Great Club. Is it the Great Club or the Large Club you get from... I think it's the Large Club you get from Stonefang, isn't it? Both fun weapons, regardless. Yeah, the game really makes a big deal of this spear. And don't get me wrong, if you've got like a dedicated faith build and stats properly aligned because you already know about the weapon and how to build for it, this could actually potentially be a more damaging weapon than the Large Sword of Moonlight, which everyone tends to favour. People tend to favour swords over pile arms anywhere in these games. But yeah, with the right build, this will outstrip the Large Sword of Moonlight by quite a noticeable margin. Which is kind of evidenced by the fact it's guarded by 3 of these bloody things. Pains in the butt that they are. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, nice! I think all of them drop Ephemeral Eye Stones as well, if I remember this correctly. And it's one of the rare weapons in the game that is just out in the open for you to see. Again, a really cool thing that I don't think Dark Souls ever did it? Actually showed you like the model for the weapon just out in the open for you to pick up like this, like jammed into the ground or something. It's a really cool idea that I'd like to see them bring back. Try that again. There we go. Yeah, swing and a miss, son. Yeah. Like I say, high levels, they're mostly a joke as long as you can move properly. Lower levels, they will kick your ass all over the place. Istriel, that's the word I was looking for. Not Istria, Istriel. Right, backtracking from the Dirty Colossus Archstone. A section of the swamp that we ignored before because we were running away from giant depraved ones on unstable ground. Make sure they don't spot me as I'm doing this. We're going to go up the side. There is basically a giant vat of slugs, I think it is. And they're holding the Moonlight Sword, but only on pure white. If you attack the vat of slugs on any other tendency in the world... Nope. Ah, god damn it. So if I remember this correctly, if you attack them on anything else, there's nothing. Like, you knock their little pod thing down from the ceiling, nothing there. Only on pure white is the sword hidden in amongst them. The implication, if I can say words today, implication being that... Sorry, distracted by the candle. Implication being that Vito was devoured by slugs, I guess. So another fun way to go. In fact, there's another character. Ow. Oh. I just realised something. There's another character I wanted to show you guys, but I think I might be too late to do it. I think if you kill... Oh yeah. I think if you kill Estrella... before you've spoken to this character, she gets murdered, doesn't she? Pretty sure that's a thing. Oops. You have to have spoken to her at least once before you finish the Astrea fight, or else you just find her corpse, basically, don't you? If I'm right, the character in question is Selen, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Garl Vinland's sister, I believe she's supposed to be. Or some sort of relation to him, anyhow. She's come to the valley, basically trying to convince him to either kill, or at the very least abandon Astrea now she's gone demon. And she's getting frustrated with the fact that he's just not listening to his sister at all. She's just like, nope, I'll continue defending her. If necessary, I will. If she does go full demon, I will kill her. But I'm not leaving her. It's basically what's going on there. It's rather sweet in a messed up kind of way, isn't it? Yeah, if you don't encounter her... You only encounter her if you've got... Is it like second degree white tendency? I don't think you have to have pure white tendency for her to appear, but it has to be somewhere on that scale. If you don't, she's just not there. So you have to get... Yeah, I think you basically have to double back after you finish killing Dirty Colossus, and you've reloaded the level by going in and out. Which I did, actually. I didn't see her. Maybe I didn't have high enough tendency. That's possible. I might have messed things up by dying in body form that time. As long as you've got... I mean, I'm pretty sure no, it must have to be pure white. Oh well. Point being that if you successfully talk to her before the fight, you start a quest line with her, where she requests that you convince Garl to come back and or kill Astrea. You murderize Astrea. Because there's several ways you can end the Maiden Astrea fight. If you kill her from a distance, Garl will become so despondent he kills himself if you speak to him. I think you have to do that. I don't know if you have to talk to Selen before Garl kills himself. Or if it's okay just as long as you do that variation of things, so Astrea is taken out of the picture. You go back, you report to Selen what's happened. She gives you... No, I take that back, sorry. I think you still have to do the fight that way. I think you then have to also go back in pure black tendency. Fight Garl's Black Phantom to get the Crest of Vinland. Yeah, Crest of Vinland. Which is proof that you've encountered and killed him. Why you don't get it when you just kill his body, I don't know. It's like a gameplay thing, I'm guessing, rather than a story or lore thing. You take that back to Selen. She reluctantly accepts that, well, her brother isn't coming back. It's over. And at that point she gives you... What does she give you? It's an item she gives you. I think it's something that increases miracle damage. I think that's what it is. And that's like the final reward for the questline, and then she vanishes. Yeah, does she vanish, or do you... No, you find her dead. You get her armor. Now if you don't do any of this, like I have, you'll just find her dead. So you'll still get her armor, but you won't get, like, the unique ring that increases miracle damage. Which obviously, since I'm not doing a miracle build, doesn't bother me particularly in the slightest, but if any of you out there are thinking of doing it, yeah. My general guideline for playing Demon Souls is if you want all the goodest, you want all the best items, strive to get White Will tendency. Be very careful, you know, force yourself to play through the game in soul form where possible, only die in the Nexus to avoid affecting your world tendency. And yeah, as long as you do that, you're pretty much guaranteed to get pure White World events. After that, by all means, body form it up, keep dying repeatedly in levels to get your Black World tendency, get to fight all your unique enemies. Yeah, she should be on this little island, but now there's just a slug here. A slug That, yeah, has apparently eaten her alive. It's supposed to be the implication, which is as bleak as it sounds. Well, either that or she died of poison and that thing just ate her body. Either way. It's not fun times in Demon's Souls. Or in FromSoft games in general, let's face it. Yeah, you do your Black World tendencies, you kill your primeval demons to get your unique souls that will allow you to power up special weapons, like the Makoto, like the Rune Sword, like the Grey Demon Axe, so on and so forth. Or the Pure Blood Sword, which is a lot of fun to use if you've built for it. Istriel, Large Moonlight Sword, also require Demon Souls to power up. And again, they're a lot of fun, if you're going to go specifically for something like that. I mean, obviously these sort of builds that involve unique weapons are a pain in the backside, but it's fun. Yeah, the squid hat is supposed to represent a sacred tree, apparently. I don't think it does. Dark Silver Armor can only be worn by male characters. It basically makes you as immune to magic as it's possible to be. Gold Armor also gives you really good magic defense, but not as good as the Silver Armor, I don't think. And both sets make your stamina regen more slowly. They're both classed as heavy armor. Looks vaguely Nordic, doesn't it? I've always thought so. If it wasn't for the fact that it's always sleeveless the way it's designed, it could be quite interesting to pair with different armor sets. I just don't quite like the look of it. Now the gauntlets I quite like. They actually work quite well with this outfit, don't they? The colours match up quite well. Golds and browns, a little bit of pale green, like a sleeve or an under tunic of some sort. Yeah, it actually kind of works. Chain gloves give me like 1 or 2 points of extra defense, but are much worse at magic defense, so I think I might have finally settled on my last bit of fashion souls. How does the leggings look with this outfit? Ridiculous! In a word, ridiculous. Okay, no, that's fine. My leather boots will do me just grand. Yeah, I think that'll do. Pretty much everything I want, and then we can move on. For the rest of Boletaria. We're actually surprisingly close to finishing the game. We've got 3 levels left. 3 levels, 4 bosses, and then we're done. 5, I suppose, if you count the dragons as mini-bosses. Are completely optional for you to kill. Actually, speaking of killing dragons... There's a translation error, isn't there? Patches refers to him as Vito. The text refers to him as Beto. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah. It's a revelation of God. It scales more exclusively with faith, yeah. Really well too, S ranking in faith. Shote, which I found on the upper levels of 5.2, and forgot to show you guys. And the Istrel, a wooden spear. Belongs to the Holy Knight Lizana, or Lizea. Again, really good if you spec for it correctly. Dark Silver Shield, everyone's favourite shield in this game, because it blocks like 90% magic damage or something daft like that. You can basically render enemies that do use magic in this game completely pointless. I don't think you can get that kind of effect even with a really good scaling cloud shield either. There's an upgrade path in the game where you can make a shield magic resistant, but nothing ever comes anywhere near close to be able to block as much magic natively, especially as the Dark Silver Shield. Looks pretty cool as well. Unfortunately, it weighs an absolute crap ton like all the silver sets, so yeah, fat rolling. Doesn't quite match the general aesthetic I've got going on here either. Perhaps if I put the silver bracelets on, that would look a bit more in theme, but my buckler works fine, so I like the general setup. It looks like I'm a bit more of a practical warrior, so I quite like this general aesthetic. Yeah, because it still scales with a little bit of strength and dex as well as faith, so with the right splitting of stats, you can outclass the large sword of moonlight. Let's pull this stuff away.
Hello,
Now finish talking about it, and then we shall move on to Politaria. And with any luck, I could probably get pretty close to finishing the game in the next couple of sessions, actually. Hmm, that's something to think about. Something to think about indeed. No, don't put those away. Keep all the arrows for now, because I'm going dragon hunting. So, need my max upgraded bow. Unfortunately, I don't have the stats for the white bow, because I don't have enough dex, ironically. If I did, it would be slightly more efficient than what I'm about to do, but it's fine. Right, grab all the arrows I can get my grubby little mitts on. I want to do lots and lots of damage. I don't know if I can even fire white arrows without the white bow, but we'll take them anyway. Could be fun to find out if nothing else. Yeah, that'll do, I think. That'll do. Excellent.
You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take...
Don't worry, I don't plan to. Yeah, alright, excellent. Okay, guys. Hope you'll all join me in the next episode. But until then, bye-bye now.